Amazon Web Services, AWS, Terminology Flashcards. Set 8. Load Balancer. Load Balancer is a DNS name combined with a set of ports, which together provide a destination for all requests intended for your application. A load balancer can distribute traffic to multiple application instances across every availability zone within a region. Load balancers can span multiple availability zones within an AWS region into which an Amazon EC2 instance was launched. But load balancers cannot span multiple regions. Local secondary index. Local secondary index is an index that has the same partition key as the table, but a different sort key. A local secondary index is local in the sense that every partition of a local secondary index is scoped to a table partition that has the same partition key value. Logical name. Logical name is a case-sensitive unique string within an AWS CloudFormation template that identifies a resource, mapping, parameter, or output. In an AWS CloudFormation template, each parameter, resource, property, mapping, and output must be declared with a unique logical name. You use the logical name when dereferencing these items using the ref function. Mailbox Provider. Mailbox Provider is an organization that provides email mailbox hosting services. Mailbox providers are sometimes referred to as Internet Service Provider, ISPs, even if they only provide mailbox services. Mailbox Simulator. Mailbox Simulator is a set of email addresses that you can use to test an Amazon SES-based email sending application without sending messages to actual recipients. Each email address represents a specific scenario, such as a bounce or complaint, and generates a typical response that is specific to the scenario. Managed Policy. Managed Policy is a standalone IAM policy that you can attach to multiple users, groups, and roles in your IAM account. Managed policies can either be AWS managed policies, which are created and managed by AWS, or customer managed policies, which you create and manage in your AWS account. Mapping. Mapping is a way to add conditional parameter values to an AWS CloudFormation template. You specify mappings in the template's optional mappings section and retrieve the desired value using the fnFindInMap function. Masternode. Masternode is a process running on an Amazon Machine Image, AMI, that keeps track of the work its core and task nodes complete. MB, MIB. MB, is a contraction of megabinary byte. A megabyte is 2 to the power of 20th or 1,048,576 bytes. A megabyte, MB, is 10 to the power of 6th or 1 million bytes. 1024 MB is a gigabyte, gib. Metric. Metric is an element of time series data defined by a unique combination of exactly one namespace, exactly one metric name, and between 0 and 10 dimensions. Metrics and the statistics derived from them are the basis of Amazon CloudWatch. Micro-instance. Micro-instance is a type of EC2 instance that is more economical to use if you have occasional bursts of high CPU activity. Multi-AZ deployment. Multi-AZ deployment is a primary DB instance that has a synchronous standby replica in a different availability zone. The primary DB instance is synchronously replicated across availability zones to the standby replica. Multi-class classification model. Multi-class classification model is a machine learning model that predicts values that belong to a limited, predefined set of permissible values. For example, is this product a book, movie, or clothing? Multi-factor authentication, MFA. Multi-factor authentication, MFA, is an optional AWS account security feature. Once you enable AWS MFA, you must provide a 6-digit, single-use code in addition to your sign-in credentials whenever you access secure AWS web pages or the AWS Management Console. You get this single-use code from an authentication device that you keep in your physical possession. Multi-part upload. Multi-part upload is a feature that allows you to upload a single object as a set of parts. Multipurpose Internet Mail Extensions, MIME. Multipurpose Internet Mail Extensions, MIME, is an Internet standard that extends the email protocol to include non-ASCII text and non-text elements like attachments. Multi-tool. Multi-tool is a cascading application that provides a simple command line interface for managing large data sets. Namespace. Namespace is an abstract container that provides context for the items, names, or technical terms, or words, it holds, and allows disambiguation of homonym items residing in different namespaces. NAT Gateway. NAT Gateway is a NAT device, managed by AWS, that performs network address translation in a private subnet, to secure inbound Internet traffic. A NAT gateway uses both NAT and port address translation. NAT instance. NAT instance is a NAT device, configured by a user, that performs network address translation in a VPC public subnet to secure inbound Internet traffic. Network ACL. Network ACL is an optional layer of security that acts as a firewall for controlling traffic in and out of a subnet. You can associate multiple subnets with a single network ACL, but a subnet can be associated with only one network ACL at a time. NICE Desktop Cloud Visualization. NICE Desktop Cloud Visualization is a remote visualization technology for securely connecting users to graphic-intensive 3D applications hosted on a remote, high-performance server. NoEcho. NoEcho is a property of AWS CloudFormation parameters that prevent the otherwise default reporting of names and values of a template parameter. Declaring the NoEcho property causes the parameter value to be masked with asterisks in the report by the cfn describe stacks command. Null object. Null object is one whose version ID is null. Amazon S3 adds a null object to a bucket when versioning for that bucket is suspended. It is possible to have only one null object for each key in a bucket. On-demand instance. On-demand instance is an Amazon EC2 pricing option that charges you for compute capacity by the hour or second, minimum of 60 seconds, with no long-term commitment. Optimistic locking. Optimistic locking is a strategy to ensure that an item that you want to update has not been modified by others before you perform the update. For Amazon DynamoDB, optimistic locking support is provided by the AWS SDKs. Pagination token. Pagination token is a marker that indicates that an API response contains a subset of a larger list of records. The client can return this marker in a subsequent API request to retrieve the next subset of records until the service responds with a subset of records and no pagination token, indicating that all records have been sent. Paid AMI. Paid AMI is an Amazon Machine Image, AMI, that you sell to other Amazon EC2 users on AWS Marketplace. Part. Part is a contiguous portion of the object's data in a multi-part upload request. Partition key. Partition key is a simple primary key, composed of one attribute, also known as a hash attribute. Petabyte, PIB. Petabyte, PIB, is a contraction of peta binary byte. A petabyte is 2 to the power of 50th or 1,125,899,906,842,624 bytes. A petabyte, PB, is 10 to the power of 15th or 1,000,000,000,000,000,000 bytes. 1024 PIB is an exabyte, EIB. Permission. Permission is a statement within a policy that allows or denies access to a particular resource. You can state any permission like this: A has permission to do B to C. For example, Jane, A, has permission to read messages, B, from John's Amazon SQSQ, C. Whenever Jane sends a request to Amazon SQS to use John's queue, the service checks to see if she has permission. It further checks to see if the request satisfies the conditions John set forth in the permission. Persistent storage. Persistent storage is a data storage solution where the data remains intact until it is deleted. Options within AWS include Amazon S3, Amazon RDS, Amazon DynamoDB, and other services. Physical name. Physical name is a unique label that AWS CloudFormation assigns to each resource when creating a stack. Some AWS CloudFormation commands accept the physical name as a value with the physical name parameter. Policy Generator. Policy Generator is a tool in the IAM AWS Management Console that helps you build a policy by selecting elements from lists of available options. Policy Simulator. Policy Simulator is a tool in the IAM AWS Management Console that helps you test and troubleshoot policies so you can see their effects in real-world scenarios. Policy Validator. Policy Validator is a tool in the IAM AWS Management Console that examines your existing IAM access control policies to ensure that they comply with the IAM policy grammar. Premium Support. Premium Support is a one-on-one, fast response support channel that AWS customers can subscribe to for support for AWS infrastructure services. Pre-signed URL. Pre-signed URL is a web address that uses query string authentication. Private IP address. Private IP address is a private numerical address, for example, 192.0.2.44, that network devices use to communicate with one another using the Internet Protocol, IP. All EC2 instances are assigned two IP addresses at launch, which are directly mapped to each other through network address translation, NAT, a private address, following RFC 1918, and a public address. Exception: instances launched in Amazon VPC are assigned only a private IP address.